for more than 2.3 trillion naira education tax fund. Airfare rises by 34.06% in 1 year. Plus, oil prices edge higher as Saudi output cuts outweigh with demand signals. The program is Business Express, reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I am Benny Adams.
Have you join us at this time? It's time to bring you up to speed with happenings in the world of business. I will start by telling you that the House of Representatives has constituted an ad hoc committee to investigate within 4 weeks alleged misappropriation of 2.3 trillion naira generated from tertiary education tax by the Tertiary Education Trust Fund between 2011 and 2013. Mitaire Ikpen reports that the House also announced its principal officers at resumption of the plenary after a 2-week break.
House members resumed at plenary in high spirits, with Speaker Tajuddin Abbas giving insight into the legislative agenda being developed.
This assembly is a citizens' parliament. In that regard, the Committee on Legislative Agenda will engage all members through appropriate platforms to develop a citizens' legislative agenda.
The Speaker announced Representative Julius Ihonvere of the APC from Edo State as House Majority Leader and Representative Kingsley Chinda of the PDP from Rivers State as House Minority Leader alongside other principal officers. 2 motions focus on education, one seeking to investigate alleged misappropriation of 2.3 trillion naira generated from tertiary education tax, and another seeking introduction of leadership training into the curriculum of Nigerian schools at all levels were deliberated upon.
If urgent steps are not taken to investigate the allegations, the decay of the tertiary education system will continue to increase.
In consideration of other motions, the House resolved to intervene in the bickering between the Force Headquarters and the Police Service Commission over police recruitment exercise, as well as the need to commence high-level diplomatic engagements towards recharging the Lake Chad Basin.
Restoring the lake will not only help revive fishing and other aquatic resources industry, but also open up new opportunities for enhanced national security.
House adjourned plenary to Wednesday, 5th July 2023. From the National Assembly, Mitaire Ikben.
Now, trading on the Nigerian Stock Exchange closed this Wednesday on a positive note. The NGX All Share Index advanced to 61,523.57 basis points, cancelling the previous day's losses. Market capitalization advanced to 33.5 trillion naira. Investors exchanged 846.323 million shares valued at 10.3 billion naira in 9,815 deals. And still on the stock market, global shares sleep on China growth jitters as Fed minutes loom. But Sedable has more on global market.
Have released minutes from its latest meeting Wednesday, providing key clues on the path of rates for markets. European markets were lower Wednesday as investors accessed the latest negative signals from the Chinese and EU economies. DAX dipped 0.44%, FTSE 0.57%, and CAC 40 0.54%. Asia markets largely fell as investors digested the release of private surveys on services activity from the region. Services activity in Japan and China remained in expansion territory for the month, while the pace of growth softened. In Japan, the Nikkei 225 fell 0.25% to end the session at 33,338.70. China market fell, with the Shanghai Composite down 0.69% to close at 3,222.95. Hong Kong Hang Seng Index also dipped 1.57% in its final hour of trade. U.S. stock futures fell Wednesday as Wall Street resumed a holiday softened week and looked to the Federal Reserve minutes coming in this afternoon. Dow Jones Industrial Average fell by 151 points or 0.44%. S&P 500 futures and Nasdaq 100 futures also dipped 0.46% and 0.56%. Africa markets also traded mostly negative, with South Africa JSE Africa Top 40, Tunisia's Tunidex, Namibia and Ghana's GSA Composite on the red lane. Bossede Able, Business Express.
And the NBS and its Transport Fair Watch May 2023 showed that the cost of air travel for Nigerians continues to surge, with average ticket prices witnessing a significant 34.06% increase over the past year. According to the report, airfare rose from 55,906.86 naira in May 2022 to 74,948.35 naira in May 2023, with commuter bus fares also experiencing an 11.66% uptick during the period. And still on inflation, the National Bureau of Statistics says prices of food items such as tomatoes, rice and yams witnessed increases in May. It made the declaration in its Selected Food Prices Watch report for May issued in Abuja. The report stated that the average price of 1 kg of tomato on a year-on-year basis rose by 17.68% from 423 naira in May 2022 to 498 naira in May 2023, while the average price of 1 kg of local rice that sold loose increased by 24.06% on a year-on-year basis from 447 naira in May 2022 to 555 naira in May 2022. Price of 1 kg yam tuber increased by 22.84% on a year-on-year basis from 372 naira in May 2022 to 457 naira in May 2023. Now, the Director of Special Projects in the Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Victor Omata, has described the Project Lighthouse program of the federal government being managed by the ministry as a veritable source of revenue to the federal government. Omata stated this in Asaba, Delta State, during a one-day sensitization program for the South-South geopolitical program of the federal government debt recovery drive through the Project Lighthouse program. The director, who was represented by Bridget Omokowa, a deputy director in the Special Projects Department, explained that the core focus of Project Lighthouse Phase 2 is the recovery of debt owned and federal government by individuals and companies through the debt recovery capability of the Project Lighthouse engine. The system collects, integrates and analyzes data from revenue generating agencies in order to create insightful information for improved decision making on debt recovery. He added that through the Project Lighthouse program, the federal government has been able to recover huge debt from government debtors, both individual and corporate entities, thereby increasing revenues from non-oil revenue sources. And now to the discussion of the day. In the first 6 months of 2023, the Nigerian equities market performed relatively well as the performance indicator at the Nigerian exchange hit the highest level in 16 years. Specifically, the all-share index of the Nigerian Stock Exchange settled at 60,963.37 basis points, having appreciated by 18.96% year-on-year. And also investors earned 5.28 trillion naira as market capitalization also increased from 27.9 trillion naira it recorded at the end of the year 2022 to 33.1 trillion at the end of the first half of 2023. What factors influence this feat in the market is what we are going to be discussing at this moment. And joining me is Tajuddin Olainka, a stockbroker who joins us from Lagos. Mr. Tajuddin, a very good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Okay, great. If you can hear me clearly, Mr. Tajuddin, what were those primary drivers that influenced the performance of the stock market in the last 6 months? You will agree with me, even in this new month of July, we realized that it was just only yesterday we had a dip in the market. What is responsible for this growth over time?
Okay, yeah, I think the best way to approach what has happened in the market is to be a little bit more historical. Take us back to what happened around November last year, when we had the last MPC meeting of Central Bank. At each MPC meeting of Central Bank, there was this MPR hike. And each time we had that MPR hike, of course, market somehow repriced it by dropping the price. So for this particular November MPR hike was quite different. Yes, there was the hike, but there was like MPR hike. But market refused to go down the way it went down in the previous MPR hike. And what happened? At that time of the year, it was obvious that we were going to have 3 leading candidates that will eventually emerge as the president of Nigeria on May 29, 2023. And so it was that kind of a possible transition from a government that was more or less that had more interest in public sector dominance as against a government that would have interest in private sector dominance. So it was more or less the shift of focus. Market was fighting all those shift of focus, shift of economic focus from government that seems to favor public sector declaring focus and to a new government that will possibly favor private sector dominance. And so before that, it was the candidate. And the moment the Bola Tinubu emerged as the president-elect in February, it was now obvious that yes, just by what the market has predicted, one of these candidates was going to win, and any of these candidates will behave this way. And so we saw a market that started moving way back November, as early as January, being bullish on transition. So we saw a market that was very bullish on transition, and a market that became extremely bullish when the president now came up with his policy of the distribution of naira and the distribution of the exchange rate, and then of course the removal of subsidy. In other words, I think the market has just responded to policy thrust of President Bola Tinubu. That is, yes, we are now going to witness a more regulated system, a system that allows efficient allocation of resources across the board. And so that is what actually fueling the rally we are seeing currently.
Okay, aside the transition, making the market bullish down to the policies we are beginning to see, talking about the new foreign exchange regime, yes, there is the Tinubu bull that is playing out. How long would this go on? And would you say any specific industries or sectors played a significant role in addition to this, what we saw in shaping the stock market's performance?
Okay, yes. For as long as we did not witness the politics of assault, we will continue to see market issues. Let me say that the essence of exchange rate unification is to allow foreign players who have stayed away from the market to come into the market and participate. These foreign portfolio investors and foreign direct investors come to the market. They help to improve liquidity of foreign exchange. In fact, they help to improve our foreign reserves, and of course, create opportunity for the buy side of the stock market. Not only the equity market, also in the fixed income market. But the kind of rally we are seeing is not necessarily coming from this category of people that I've just mentioned. When you talk of the foreign portfolio investors, they are actually in two categories. The foreign portfolio investors, the ones that we know that they are actually foreign investors, they don't stay here, they are abroad. There's another brand of foreign portfolio investors that are actually here in Nigeria. Some of them could be Nigerian, some of them could be from other nationalities. And what they do is that they have a global portfolio. So the moment they saw that there was an opportunity in the country, some of these local investors that more or less have offshore assets, started bringing these offshore assets back to Nigeria to be able to participate in the market. So some of this value is actually coming from local investors that have offshore assets. You know what I'm saying? So the foreign portfolio investors, we join them later. But this one, we normally take the lead as far as the rally is concerned, because they are the ones that will first and foremost take decisions before other decisions. And that's what we are seeing. So if we do not see any policies from assault, I can take a bet with you. We are going to see market. I think in the next half of the year, we'll see some of we'll see what to see rally, but we'll see some kind of the price correction, because as the investors make profit in the market, they take their profit and leave, or they take the profit and wait for market to pull up and come back again. So we'll be seeing more of today rally, tomorrow there is market support. It should be up and down, until we get to a point where the listed companies, the public companies will not begin to approach market to issue new shares to be able to bring liquidity of stock. So that kind of thing that we need to recover. What is happening now is it's beneficial to public companies. Companies can have contribute to the exchange to be able to raise money at a lower cost of capital. That's what is happening is translating to create opportunity for companies to be able to raise long-term capital at a lower cost of capital. That's what is simply translating to, and that's what we're going to see going forward.
Okay, fine. Mr. Olenka, while we enjoy this impact being made by investments coming in from foreign investors, we look forward to domestic players actually playing their key role in also investing into this market. But like you rightly mentioned, these investors are having long-term capital from this investment from the capital market to possibly reinvest in some other, possibly the real sector of the economy. What other policies do you think can play out here to ensure that the market is further consolidated? Yes, we have reforms from the regulators talking about the Securities and Exchange Commission coming on board. Where is also the place of technology in consolidating this market?
Technology has always been part of the market. Don't forget that if you recall what happened sometime late last year when MTN came to do what you call more of offer for sale. When they sold down part of all investors' position in the market, and it was done through technology. Technology, if you are abroad, if you are anywhere at that time, you could just fill a form online, pick a particular stock token that you want to actually assist you in buying this MTN shares, and then of course we saw over subscription of this particular offer, simply because they use technology. And I think that was the time that was more or less the first time we are going to witness electronic IPO button. So technology is actually also helping the market in a way, because you don't need to come to Lagos, or you don't need to be at a same floor or to visit a shopping center before you can participate in the market. Both retail and wholesale investors or institutional investors can participate just right from the comfort of their living room or their bedroom. So technology has actually helped the market for investors to also interface with the market seamlessly without visiting any offices or whatever. So,
okay, Mr. Olayinka, let me hold your thoughts there before I let you go very quickly. What stock should we be looking up to in the coming weeks, coming months, moving into the end of the year? We see stocks in ICT and the financial companies are doing greatly. What else should we look out for?
Okay, yes, we know that we have seen significant movement in stocks from the banking sector. We also seen a bit of movement in ICT. But there are all these liquid stocks have actually moved significantly. But there are these what we call low price stocks. Low price stocks are also just catching up, but they don't move the market. What moves the market are these high cap stocks like for instance, if Dangote cement move 1 inch, you see impact in the market. If banking stock move 1 inch, you see impact in the market. If one cement move 1 inch, so all these high cap stocks are gradually moving up and getting to the point where the further movement will be a little bit curtailed.
Okay, thank you so very much. Thank you so very much, Tajuddin Olayinka, for giving us insights into stocks to look out for and how the stock market is going so far. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us at this particular point in time.
Thank you.
Okay. And moving on, Nigeria's textile markets currently exports about $12 billion worth of textile products annually, and the market is expected to grow bigger to double the numbers in the next few years if government completes its programs nationwide through the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency, SMEDAN. Director General of the agency, Olaole Fasonya, who made this disclosure at an exhibition as part of activities for this year's celebration of the United Nations MSMEs Day, says the agency is making all efforts to position the agencies for global competitiveness and exports.
Since we have heard from our stakeholders, we will be able to roll out more programs that will assist MSMEs, especially now that the issue of fuel subsidy removal is there and there are insecurity all around.
So if your SME sector is not working, it means we have problem with our economic development.
Even from their reception, everything you need, where you want to go to, is well stated. And you don't need to even know anybody or have a godfather to actually have the support of SMEDAN.
The agency also advocates policies that will support the growth and development of MSMEs, emphasizing that their development means the development of the country's economy as a whole. And from Namibia comes the commitment for grassroots inclusion and the expansion of the MSME space. This is as the Africa Economic Leadership Council organizes the second edition of Discovering Namibia Intra-Africa MSME and Township Economic Export and Business Conference 2023 in Swakopmund, Namibia.
It's very scary to know that we are trading more with Europe and Americas than trading with one another. So Africa Economic Leadership Council, our objective is just to promote intra-Africa trade.
It is now time for us to be intentional in our design and implementation of policy programs to enable MSMEs at the township and rural economy to tap into existing business and trade opportunities and to become masters of our own destinies.
Well, at this point, the celebration of MSMEs will continue in subsequent bulletins. This is where we end this edition of Business Express. We value your feedback, so keep the comments, observations, and suggestions coming. Be informed that all previous episodes are available on YouTube on NTA's channel. Business Express returns on Thursday at 9:30 a.m.
Social media as a channel of communication is inherently harmless.